Hey guys, so this is the second time that I've tried to film this. The first time the mic wasn't on, so hopefully it's on now. Also, I'm filming on my laptop camera because of this whole PowerPoint layout. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna like use my actual camera. This is just easier. This is a completely different layout than what I'm used to. So just like hang in there. I'm trying my best. I was thinking about Angel Dust because of course I was. And I was kind of thinking about his history. And then I kind of started thinking about the Pansy Craze and like LGBT history in the like 1930s. And I think I connected some dots, but I'm not sure. So take everything with a grain of salt. Bless you. Bless you. That was my cat. Take everything with a grain of salt. Nothing that I say is, I don't know if it's canon or not. Vibsy Pop doesn't make anything clear, so I don't know. The majority of this is just me speculating, but I think it's very interesting, so I wanted to talk about it. Here's what we know about Angel Dust canonically. He was born in the 1910s. We know this because he died in 1947 in his 30s. We know that he is Italian-American. We know that he kind of has like a New York, New England accent, and because the New York Mafia has its roots in South Italian Mafia, I have chosen to believe that he was from New York. Between that and the accent, I just feel like it's the most logical explanation. We also know that his birth name is Anthony, and then we know that he is canonically from a mafia family, and we know that his, like, Molly and Arachnus is, I think, his older brother. They're a spider family in hell because they had a web of crime in the real world. Okay, so now I kind of wanted to talk about some like Italian-American lore. So we know that America had a big anti-Italian bias, primarily because America doesn't like Catholics and the Pope is literally from Italy, so Italy equals bad in the eyes of America. But also, Italian Americans were typically like lower class and blue collar. And due to their financial situation, some Italians did join the mafia. Not all of them, just some of them, but this did result in a stereotype that all Italians were associated with the mafia. Okay, next we're going to talk about Prohibition. So, 1920 to 1933, Prohibition, they made alcohol illegal. Mafia families made a lot of money during this time because of selling like bootleg alcohol. And some of the places, this is like, separate these ideas. Some of the places that sold bootleg alcohol were also safe spaces for queer individuals because being queer at the time was illegal. So it was like underground situations. So this resulted in people being exposed to queer culture more than before. However, even though the mafia was able to make some money off of, like, in the space of LGBT people, they still were not cool with their members being gay. So the mafia was not an ally, not a gay ally, but they did make money. So they were willing to put up with gay people if it meant that they were making money, basically. Okay, so we'll talk about the Pansy Craze. Early 1930s, New York. This occurred during Prohibition because balls were underground, alcohol was being sold underground. You get the drift. I also kind of wanted to talk about, I don't know if I'm reading this right, Broadway Brevities, which was like it was a gossip magazine. Basically, I put this in here because gay people were referred to as fairies. They were typically used as entertainment for straight people, even though gay people were a little bit more accepted. It was like straight people were enthralled by the idea of a feminine man. It wasn't like oh, we're not homophobic, we're cool. It was like oh my god, look, let's laugh. That kind of thing. So they accepted gay people sometimes as like entertainment. And there was a column called Night in Fairyland that was basically like gossiping about like what was going down in the gay scene in New York at the time. And then I also wanted to touch on, I don't know how to pronounce it again, Jean Malin. There's a fun song. It's called That's What's the Matter with Me. I listened to it while researching this. It was kind of iconic, I will not lie. And that's a picture of him right there. And he actually ended up dying in 1933 in a car accident. And the Hays Code, which was a code that basically regulated what people were allowed to put in movies and film, how a part of it was how LGBT people were allowed to be portrayed and in film. So around the time that this code went into effect, it was 1934, and this was also the time that the police started really cracking down on drag, so it did end the Pansy Craze. I hit change slide too soon, don't look at this slide. I put the Pansy Craze in here because I thought it was interesting because 1930s would have been around the time that Angel was 20, and I think a lot of his fashion was kind of similar to what was going on during the Pansy Craze. So I feel like even if Angel was not directly involved with it while growing up because the mafia was like not cool with their members being gay, I feel like he still would have been kind of influenced by it. Okay, bonus round. We're gonna talk about PCP. Which is Angel Dust. We know that Angel died from an overdose. We don't really know what on. A lot of people accept it as canon that it was PCP. I don't know if I believe that. PCP was discovered in 1926, developed as a general anesthetic in the 1950s, and it was popularized in the 1960s. Angel would have died in the 1940s, so it wouldn't have been used as a general anesthetic yet. Still would have been discovered, but it wouldn't have been popularized yet. And some of the results, I guess side effects, would be euphoria, increased energy, hallucinations, delusions, mood changes, paranoia. Some of the long-term effects, speech problems, depression, and psychosis. Angel displays a good chunk of these traits at certain times in the show. We see him experience euphoria and increased energy, but also like mood changes and paranoia and depression. It's incredibly addictive. Also, while researching this, I learned that the horrorcore rapper Big Lurch was on PCP and when he ate his friend after he got in a car accident and he was using it as a painkiller, like self-medicating because of his injuries, and he ate his friend. So that's how like serious of a drug it is. It's not like woo acid, it's like I ate my friend kind of drug. Anyways, okay, here's my sources that aren't really sources, but for some books I put The Mafia and the Gays by Philip Crawford Jr. and then I also put Gay New York by George Chansey. I think that's how you say it. For YouTube videos that I used as well, How the Mob Established NYC's Gay Bar Scene, which was by the History Channel, which I thought was crazy. I took some of the timeline, like the specific years from the video, The History Behind Angel Dust, which is from the channel Coco Cat. And then also, I don't know how to pronounce their name, Kaz Rowe has a lot of really dope like LGBT history videos, and their video on Broadway Brevities does touch on the Pansy Craze, so I also linked that because I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, different format than what I usually do, trying something new, but yeah, I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.